Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weischadle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weischadle. Doug, congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche winning the Stanley Cup, and I guess they are the favorites right now in every sportsbook we're looking at.
Yes, every single sportsbook has them as a favorite to win the Stanley Cup next year. As a matter of fact, I can tell you right offhand, just by looking at my computer screen off to the right, it's almost unanimous across the board. They're about a plus 400, plus 450 favorite in a lot of the books.
Okay.
Especially, let's see, the best one, I see plus 425 at, let's see, Unibet, Sugar House, and we've got plus 450 at BetMGM and Caesars. Yeah. We've got plus 500 at PointsBet.
Okay.
So they're across the board pretty much the odds-on favorite at winning the Stanley Cup next year.
I would guess the smart move would be to put just a little bit of money on it. What do they call it? Pizza money on it? It's I guess they were the best team all year in the NHL, and I guess they're going to start the NHL season being the best team.
What's surprising is Tampa Bay is not number 2.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the books have Toronto Maple Leafs as the second odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup in certain areas. Not much, though, but it's plus 800 in a couple books. Tampa Bay's plus 900 in a couple books. So I don't know if people are saying this is the end of the Tampa Bay dynasty, the short-lived dynasty, but I don't know. I guess
they had a good run. If it is the end of the dynasty, good run.
I'm curious to see how Vegas does now that they hired the old Bruins coach.
Oh, the Vegas Golden Knights.
Golden Knights. Yeah.
No, they should be an interesting team.
I still am shocked that they got rid of them.
My Flyers are nowhere in the discussion right now.
I'll look up the Flyers right now.
Okay, all right, for me. Okay.
Yeah, they're about plus 6,000 in a few books and plus 7,500 in one or two others. So, yeah.
All right.
I would say, it's maybe worth putting a couple of bucks in. I don't know. I don't know exactly how good the team's going to be in this coming season. But,
I don't know.
You never know.
I guess they're in the rebuilding phase.
Hey, you throw $1, $2 down on it.
Yeah, why
you win a little bit.
Well, we got a great show coming up. We got a Beatin The House, and I'm talking with Sue Schneider coming up from SBC. She's going to be talking about the SBC Summit North America being held July 12th to the 14th at the Meadowlands Expo Center. It's an amazing event. If you're interested in sports betting, or if you're in the sports betting and iGaming fields, it's a must-attend event. So it's really great.
It's more of a B2B, business to business, more so than the consumer industry side of things, but it is an incredible event. The panels they have, the exhibitions they have from the different companies.
Mattress Mac will be there.
Mattress Mac,
unbelievable.
Will be there,
yeah, great.
So again, I'm sorry, I just misspoke. Mattress Mac. I always want to say Max for some reason.
No, Mattress Mac.
Mattress Mac, and it'll be fun to watch. And the event's expanding every year.
Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Well, the last couple of weeks we've been talking in this exit about comments made by people about sports betting. We don't have any comments this week to talk about.
Okay.
We don't have a survey to talk about.
No survey?
No survey.
Oh, my God.
We actually have a breakthrough in technology to talk about.
Oh, okay. In sports betting?
In sports betting. And actually streaming TV, too.
All right.
Since we're a part of that industry as well.
Okay.
A company called TAPP, T-A-P-P-P, 3 Ps.
Okay.
They are a tech and marketing company that works with streaming technologies as well as sports betting industry.
All right.
They, a while back, maybe a couple months ago, they did a deal with Major League Rugby for broadcasting the season, doing different aspects of the broadcast, like inserting pick'em games, that sort of stuff streamed on the Rugby Network.
Okay. I think I caught a couple of matches. I'm not sure if this was the league I was watching. I know I was watching a New York team, so I'm not sure if that's part of the Major League Rugby or if that's a different league, but I think it was on MSG or one of the local New York stations.
Well,
it
was
rugby, though.
It's a sport that is becoming bigger.
Yeah.
And I got to start looking into it because I'm starting to see a lot more betting action on rugby, especially here in the United States.
Yeah.
But at the final game of the season, let me make sure I'm getting this right. The final weekend of the Major League Rugby season, in a partnership with PlayUp, the sportsbook PlayUp.
Sure.
They were able to do a single-screen live betting broadcast of the games.
Okay.
And what was happening was in certain eligible areas that you could bet.
I guess legal areas.
Yeah. People were able to watch the game. And as a matter of fact, if you're watching on TV right now, I've got the promo video from TAP and running, so you could see exactly what was going on for this type of partnership that we're going to be talking about here. As the game was going on, people were being shown real-time stats.
Sure.
And then they were being asked questions to like a pick'em game on those stats that were being flashed up.
So how would
next
someone
goal, all that stuff?
How would someone respond to those questions?
Well, I'm assuming there's some sort of action on the remote control.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool.
So,
all right.
I
got to check this out.
It's a streaming network, so you got to have a remote control, or if the app,
I would guess an
app
app.
Remote, would have it. And we've been talking about this for a long time over the last couple of months, but TAP has been the first one to do the single screen viewing betting experience before a lot of the other ones out there.
So they only did this once, or is this going to be a regular thing, or what's going to happen here?
They're going to look at how the data pans out in terms of usage by the audience.
It sounds like a great idea.
It works smoothly according to the press releases. First time somebody's ever done this in terms of actually streaming a game, watching the game, getting the stats, being able to bet on this using those stats that are popping up, and all in one broadcast.
Wow, that's great.
What they're doing here is they're actually moving ahead to increase rugby fan engagement by, I'm assuming what they want to do is continue the free-to-play alongside the betting.
Yeah.
Because I think the free-to-play kind of leads into the betting.
I would assume the free-to-play, you can play it in all jurisdictions or around the world.
For prizes or whatever. So, when there's no legal betting states that this is airing in, you're playing a pick'em game.
Sure.
When you're in a legal betting state, it will probably, from what I understand, it takes you to the PlayUp Sportsbook.
Good.
And you can bet.
That'd be great. I mean, I would love that.
So what they're doing, they're going to continue the first year. They just did the first year of the pick and go. That's what they call the free-to-play.
All right.
They're going to continue doing that, enhancing it as a free-to-play model, and then they're going to further enhance and further develop it with real money gaming in time for the next season of Major League Rugby, the 2023 season.
Okay.
And
I don't even know when the Major League Rugby season is.
Like I said, it's
2023. So it's done for this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this was the final weekend. They made the test on the final weekend. They knew viewership was going to be the most.
Okay, good.
So it's one of those things where it bears watching because it's a huge step in the streaming industry.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can see this for baseball and football and things like that. Oh, yeah, no, it sounds great.
And needless to say, the company TAP is already in discussions with major broadcasting companies to incorporate this onto the streaming side of their broadcasts.
Awesome. Can't wait.
So this is going to be fun to see exactly where this goes. Again, it's another breakthrough, and sorry we didn't have a survey or somebody's comments to talk about. But I thought technology, a breakthrough in terms of single-screen sports betting was a major step.
Sounds like fun. It really does. It really sounds like fun.
Exit 2.
We're going to go from sports betting, actual sports betting to eSports betting.
Okay.
And this is more along the lines of, I don't want to say illegal activity, but Riot Games.
Okay.
The League of Legends guys, they always love fan-created tournaments, and they encourage them.
Good.
What they have not liked people doing is involving gambling.
Okay.
Into their fan-created tournaments.
Sure.
So what they had here, they had a situation. Riot Games was pitched a tournament, the Team Fight Tactics tournament, by one of their content creators by the name of Yippee Mo Kaye.
Okay.
He was going to create a team, like I said, Team Fight Tactics tournament where they were going to have a bunch of different players come in and compete for prizes.
Okay. He
had the bright idea to Yippee Mo Kaye. I don't want to keep saying that over and over again, but that's a tongue twister there. He had the bright idea to bring in a company called Stake Kings.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them. I mean,
they're big in poker.
They're big in poker, yeah.
And what he wanted to do with Stake Kings, they decided to create the contest as a $10,000 prize pool tournament.
Okay.
Where the players would pay $1,200 to get into the tournament.
All right.
Stake Kings took it a step further and brought up the idea of having other people stake the players.
Yeah, I don't see a huge problem with that if all the players are of a certain age. I mean, you don't want to stake a 15-year-old or anything like that. I mean, that
Riot
gets
Games
a little
had
too.
A problem.
Yeah, well, it was that the problem Riot Games had.
Riot Games had
age of the participants.
No, they never said what the problem really was with it.
Okay,
their statement was that Riot Games objected and argued that buy-in tournaments could indeed be a part of future models, but said that it would not come in any collaboration with a gambling website or fans and players being asked to stake other players.
Okay, all right.
So basically they left the door open to it.
Sure.
And it brings up an interesting idea of staking players to do esports, and you just brought up the age requirement.
Well, let me tell you something. If you're going to stake I think they have to have some rules and regulations in place. So, I mean, maybe that was the point. Like, we're not discounting it in the future. We just want to set up a framework where it can be responsibly done.
And it's going.
I don't want to put words in Riot Games' mouth, but that would be the smart move.
Well, right now, Riot Games relied on the phrasing, "It's a breach of our terms and conditions."
Okay, yeah.
And I understand that.
No, absolutely.
It's a very interesting situation where you actually have a staking issue for esports that's never been talked about before.
Well, that's the thing. It's such a brand new thing. I think you want to dive into this knowing what you're doing, having some rules and regulations set up, having a framework where it's done responsibly. So, yeah, no, good for Riot Games. I think that was a good way to proceed. Proceed with this slowly and get it right, you know?
And I have to admit, Riot Games has been consistent with this
absolutely
attitude, and I think it's the right way to do it until I hate to say it this way, until the esports industry matures to a certain extent where there's some sort of universal standard to apply, because every tournament, every game does things differently.
Yeah.
And every team does things differently. Yeah. So, again, the age comes into play. The third party comes into play as well, because you actually have to vet the third parties before you allow people to use a third party staking company. I don't think they had a problem with Stake Kings.
No, they're well established. Yeah. They're big in the poker industry, so they know what they're doing. And Stake Kings is a responsible organization. I just think it's such a brand new thing for esports. I think they have to try and figure out how to do it responsibly, like I said.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon. And that's what Riot Games was saying. And like I said, they've maintained a consistent viewpoint as gambling has expanded in the United States and also around the world. But, you know, in terms of esports gambling too. I mean, you gotta wonder about that as well. And, you know, you don't want to do things before you're not ready for them.
Sure.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
Exit 3.
We did sports betting. We've done esports. We are now going to NFTs as usual.
Okay.
We have a brand new NFT marketplace coming in, and I think a lot of people have already seen this announcement, the NHL.
Sure, yeah, I've been hearing about this for a couple of weeks now to keep an eye out for it.
It's going to be kind of fun to see the NHL do this because what they wanted, they partnered with a company called Sweet. It's an NFT platform for minting NFTs.
Okay.
I'm actually getting used to the terminology. I use the word minting.
All right.
You don't create NFTs, you mint an NFT. What they're going to be doing is creating a National Hockey League marketplace where the NFT collection will be based upon, this is their wording, seminal moments during the 2022-2023 hockey season.
Okay.
So they're only going 1 year back right now.
Actually, 1 year forward.
1 year forward. I'm sorry.
1 year forward.
I'm sorry. Wow. I'm time traveling here.
Yeah. No, well, good. Hey, for a better, that would be good. See
me for the points.
I guess this'll start this coming hockey season.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And they're going to showcase prominent players from previous seasons as well as current season. Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, Mario Lemieux.
Okay, so in addition to the seminal moments of the upcoming season,
yes,
they're going to do some legends there.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they're going to go back in time as well to do big moments in other seasons too.
Okay.
I'm assuming they're even going to do playoff stuff too.
All right. Okay.
But what they're going to be doing, the marketplace is going to be sort of similar to what we've seen with other NFT marketplaces. They're going to have different tiers of NFTs being minted. They're going to have different graphics. They're going to have different, I don't want to say memorabilia, but different brick and mortar parts to these NFTs.
Okay.
They're going to unlock different.
Number one, I'd be curious to see the NFTs themselves, what they depict and portray and things like that. Secondly, I'd want to know the price too. It'd be very interesting. I guess I would have to go to the NHL.com thing. I guess they would have something.
They're going to have a website set up for all that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But again, the one thing you just mentioned.
See, these are things that are going to be
prices.
like trading cards. These are going to be great.
I wonder if they're going to have a special pricing tier for season ticket holders.
I don't know.
I haven't seen a league do that yet. When they create the NFL hasn't done that yet.
No, not yet.
And Major League Baseball hasn't done anything. NBA's been doing that. NBA Top Shot. They've got a whole bunch of other things there. No one's done special pricing for season ticket holders. I would think that's going to have to be a consideration at some point.
NFTs are going to be everywhere when it comes to a sporting event and sporting memorabilia. So it's just, it's going to explode.
Yes.
And it's exploding already. So I'm like I said, I'm very curious to see what they have on these NFTs. I'm very curious about the price. I'm curious about, how will they increase in value as we go along? I need these are going to be like trading cards and
that's
cards
going to be
and things
part
like
of
that.
the
I've
NFT
never had
marketplace.
hockey trading cards. When growing up, I had football and baseball. I've never had hockey.
Well, this is where the NFT marketplace for the NHL differs from some other places.
Yeah,
you're actually going to be able to trade NFTs.
See, that's great.
And some places
fantastic.
just do the one-time only purchase.
Mm-hmm.
If you claim whatever the memorabilia is attached to the NFT, you keep it.
Cool.
And the NFT is retired, basically.
Yeah.
But this is a place where fans can interact with one. I'm assuming they're going to have like chat rooms. And,
that's great.
So it's going to be fun. It's digital collectibles, and
that's a whole new world, man. Digital collectibles. Wow.
It's
unbelievable.
It's a crazy market now, and it's just going to get even more as more and more companies get involved with it. I know Bentley's coming out with a series of NFTs based upon their cars.
I was going to say, is that the cars?
That's the cars.
All right.
Yeah, so there's a lot more interesting things coming down the road here in terms of NFTs.
Okay.
Exit 4.
We're going to end the rundown this week with a little sports trademark roundup.
Okay.
We'll do the simple one first.
Okay.
And this one I thought was very obvious, and I'm really, really shocked no one had done this before for this guy. But Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagle quarterback,
yes,
filed a trademark for Hurts So Good.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Apparel and clothing,
great
hats, hoodies, all that stuff. And according to reports, the clothing is going to be sold at the link.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
And also online too. Through
I would guess so. Yeah.
Charity angle with it and all that. So
see, it's great. I always think it's great that a lot of people say, "Oh, he's trying to make money off the trademark." But one of the things you trademark when you're a athlete is to protect your name. I mean, a lot of these, you see, if you go out into the parking lot before any game. You see all these fake T-shirts and things that people sell, and so. But I always think it's a good thing when an athlete trademarks his name or saying with his name in it, because it protects them down the road.
Yes. Well, as a trademark attorney, I represent a couple of apparel companies, and you always got to protect the brands that they're creating.
Sure.
And this is a brand. Your name is your brand as an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, it's going to be fun to see exactly how well this does, because it's such an obvious trademark.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm
great.
really shocked no one in the Link parking lot had
maybe they
this.
did. I don't know. Maybe that's well, maybe I should trademark it if someone's trying to
that
rip
may be
my
one of the
name
reasons.
off.
Yeah. So
but good for him.
Yeah.
Good. He gets his brand out there and he protects himself.
And the other mark that just was issued after a long battle in the trademark office, the Ohio State University finally got the trademark for the THE. And they were battling with Marc Jacobs, the fashion company.
Sure.
He had filed that company had filed a trademark for the as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, can Marc Jacobs still get the? Because let's be honest, it's the. It's the word THE.
No. I was going to get to that because what happened was the trademark office refused it on two grounds. One was Marc Jacobs
refused it.
The trademark office refused the Ohio State application on two grounds: the Marc Jacobs application, and also the fact that the trademark examiner felt that the was not anything else other than an ornamental use of that word. So Ohio State had to file a couple different motions and an opposition against Marc Jacobs. What happened with Marc Jacobs, they worked out a consent agreement that both can exist at the same time.
Yep.
The other thing they filed was documentation showing that the word "the" was not being used in a merely ornamental fashion. Their clothing had "the Ohio State" with the capital letters, all that, and anytime you saw Ohio State in some kind of apparel or some kind of marketing thing, the Ohio State was always used. So they made the case.
Now, will they have a problem before any football game? They have the players announce who they are and what college and what school they went to. And when they say the Ohio State won't have a problem with that, right?
No, I don't think
it's only apparel and things like that. Okay,
yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if they require the TV broadcasters when they have Ohio State University, underneath the stat for the player.
Yeah.
Are they going to have the as part of it?
Well, this is another reason, just like the athletes. I think Ohio State is protecting,
its IP.
Their IP. I think it's great. I think they're going to have. I've never been to an Ohio State game, but out in the parking lots or in the back of some people's cars, they have shirts "The Ohio State," which are unlicensed. So I think it's good that Ohio State is protecting themselves.
Here's a question that popped into my head as soon as I saw this. When a player does an NIL deal, name, image, likeness deal, that goes to Ohio State University.
Yeah.
If he puts "The Ohio State University" on his name, image, likeness deal, does he owe some money back to the college?
Well, I think that's all going to be worked out by the student's agent or lawyer or whoever works out the NIL
I think a lot
deal.
of lawyers are going to have something to say about that
I think
one.
so.
But yeah, that's it for the trademark roundups, and I'll have more of these from time to time. But this one was just kind of an interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Marks.
And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. you'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a big show coming up. We got a Beatin The House. But right after this, I'm talking with Sue Schneider from SBC. She's going to tell us all about the SBC Summit North America being held July 12th through the 14th at the Meadowlands Expo Center. It's an amazing event. If you're interested in the sports betting or iGaming business, I mean, that's the event to attend. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. For anyone in the gambling and sports betting field, SBC is an incredible source of news and information on this fast-moving industry. As a gaming attorney myself, they are a crucial source of information which allows me to do my job. And from July 12th to the 14th, they are having the SBC Summit North America in the Meadowlands Expo Center in New Jersey, covering all the important issues in the gambling world. And to tell us all about it, on the line we have Sue Schneider, Vice President of Growth and Strategy for SBC. Sue, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
What I said in the introduction is so true. SBC is so important for people in the sports betting community. It's such a font of information for everyone in this field. But for our listeners who aren't familiar with SBC, can you tell us a little something about it?
Sure. It really started in the UK probably about 10 years or so ago, and it started out as really more a networking type of events that they put on, and it's really expanded over the years into full-on trade shows and conferences and webinars and just all kinds of things. The SBC stands for Sports Betting Community, so it really is meant as a way to to bring folks together from that whole ecosystem, whether it's teams, leagues, media, operators, suppliers, regulators. So that's the range of events that we have. And again, we've got them in Europe, we've got them in aimed at Latin America, North America, kind of all over the place. So it's fun.
It certainly is. And as you said, SBC really brings a lot of people in this community together. It really is a community. I mean, I see people that I haven't seen in a year or a couple of months when I go to your events. The incredible rate of how this industry is growing. How important is it that the community get together and share ideas with one another?
Well, it's critical, and I think even the trade show part is interesting because it's really a big marketplace. I mean, there are a lot of deals that get put together, which is really kind of fun. If you wait a month or so after our events, you can see deals being announced, and you think, oh, I know where they did that. So that part's kind of fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about SBC Summit North America, but I want to ask you about a couple other conferences SBC recently held. One was called Betting on Sports Europe. Like you said, SBC is, I guess that's their home field. I guess that's where SBC really started. What were the topics that were discussed in the conference in Europe, and how much of a different marketplace is that from the U.S.?
Well, it's very different. I mean, there are a lot of things in the industry that are done differently there, whether it's things related to affiliate marketing and things like that. And clearly football, the other kind of football, soccer for us is the primary sport that they're looking at, and they target a lot of that. So, it is very different conference content. They kind of go in deep on how those things happen. There are issues related to advertising restrictions that are coming into play now, and just a variety of topics that are unique to Europe and particularly in the UK.
Now, one of the huge stories in sports betting and iGaming is the Canadian gambling expansion. It seems like every other week I'm talking to someone from Canada, and I'm just being amazed at how the industry is growing up there. And SBC held the Canadian Gaming Summit recently. For those who don't know, tell us a little something about the Canadian gaming market, and what were the big issues that were discussed at the Canadian Gaming Summit?
Okay. Well, basically, again, Canada has been waiting for a very long time to get, for years they've had the parlay bets allowed, but they never had single game wagering. And that's what the Canadian Gaming Association has been working diligently for 10 plus years to try to get that passed. And they were able to get that passed last year. So it's really, it's a great situation to see that finally being able to open up a little bit. The event that you were talking about in specifics is actually still put on by the Canadian Gaming Association and their commercial partner in those, Media Edge, and this was their 25th year for the association. And that event. So SBC is in the process of purchasing that event, and so next year that'll be ours. This year we went up to see how they've been doing it and to begin the transition and to learn more about the community up there, because they have a real interesting range of components within the betting industry there. They've got, they have charitable gaming. They have First Nations, which would be sort of the equivalent of our tribal gaming, but different because they don't have that overarching federal legislation. So they're all very, very different. And so, again, we went up ourselves. Our staff at SBC went up to learn and make those relationships so that we can kind of carry on into the future. But the industry is just going crazy, particularly in Ontario, because they really came up with a regulatory scheme that's very open. So it really is a situation where it's, there's opportunity for a lot of operators to come and plug in there. And then we also learned about other provinces and what they're doing and which ones are likely to stay with the lottery corporations, which are the kind of quasi-governmental groups there that do a lot of the casinos up there, or which may be more likely to open up, as Ontario did, to a broader array of operators. So,
is it pretty much safe to say that Canada is the next huge betting market and iGaming market in the world? I mean, if you're a sports betting operator or an iGaming platform, is all your attention shifting to Canada at this moment in time?
I don't think it's all of it because, again, we're continuing to add states here in the U.S. We're up to 35 states that have legalized sports betting, and there are more probably on the way. I'm in Missouri, which has been very frustrating because we can't seem to get it over the line. But it's, it certainly is a big one, and particularly Ontario because they have such a large population. Some of the other provinces in Canada are smaller. But, I think to a certain extent, they're going to have a similar situation where they have, each province is going to handle it possibly a little bit differently. So.
Yeah, I find Canada is such an interesting market because you're really seeing the birth of an industry in sports betting and iGaming. I mean, and you mentioned other states. I split my time between New Jersey, which has everything. You can bet on a hot dog eating contest in the next couple of weeks. And I have an office in Massachusetts who are just starting to get their act together and start talking about it. In terms of growth in the U.S. and other states, look, in the last couple of years in the U.S., after New York started its mobile sports betting industry, is everyone just waiting for other states, particular California, to allow sports betting? In terms of expansion in the U.S., is California the next potentially big story for the U.S. sports betting industry?
Well, I do think Massachusetts is one that they're, watching closely because that one, is got some potential. And I think Texas is another one that is obviously a huge population that, and they do like to gamble there also. So they're already seeing that because the surrounding states in many cases are legalizing it, and they're having a lot of bleed over from Texas players that are going to if they're on the border, they'll go to, Louisiana or whatever to place a bet. So California is sort of the holy grail, but It's been, we saw the same thing. I don't know if you were really watching what transpired there in California trying to pass poker.
Yeah.
And, you had this sort of split between the tribes, the racetracks, the card rooms, and nobody could really kind of get it together enough to get that moving forward. And unfortunately, we're kind of seeing the same thing here now.
Yeah.
There are a couple of referendums that will be on the ballot in November to try to get it passed. One's kind of presented by the tribes, another's presented by, kind of commercial gaming interests. So my fear is that it's going to be very confusing for the voters. So who knows? We'll have to see what transpires. And California is big on referendums, as you probably well know.
Yeah.
More so than any other state. They put things out to the voters pretty regularly. So I always joke that I think it would be good to just take some of the key people and just stick them in a room and lock them in there until they could come up with some agreement, because otherwise it just turns into kind of a circular firing squad there, and there's no progress, as we saw with poker. So hopefully things will be different with sports betting, but it's not looking that great right now in terms of being able to get any unanimity, or the term I like to use is co-opetition, to try to get people that are competitors and, kind of pulling in the same direction, but that hasn't happened there yet.
Yeah, you mentioned the word frustrating. I can tell you a story in Massachusetts. I was at Encore Boston Harbor, which is the casino in the Boston area, and they have the Wynn Sports Bar, which they have to call it because there's no sports betting there. But it's really a sports book, and it's so sad when you walk in there, you see a row of empty cages just waiting for people to sit there and take bets on, and it's just it's just in front of everyone. And I was like, okay, what's taking so long? But it's such an interesting process what's going on.
Right. But I think we'll see some of the other smaller states move forward. Again, in many cases, the legislative sessions are over for the year. There are some states, I think New Jersey kind of goes year round, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I know, like in Missouri here, we're done in the middle of May. So, in many of the states that we're considering this, they'll have to wait until January until the sessions gear up again. Then, we'll see at the end of the year what's pre-filed in terms of bills. But, it gets caught up in politics pretty regularly, which is always a frustration for people.
Well, speaking of states, I want to ask you about this great event being held in my home state of New Jersey. Can you give us an overview of some of the topics that be highlighted during the SBC Summit North America?
Sure. And this will be the third time that we've run this event at the Meadowlands, actually. And it's, as I mentioned earlier, kind of all those different components of the community are all, at these. So we draw on them for a lot of content. We actually have 4 different conference sessions tracks going on at any one time. So there is a ton of content. And for those people that feel like they can't be in more than one spot at a time, it's all taped so that they'll be able to watch it on demand if there was another one that they wanted to see. But it's a really interesting mix. We've got some great keynotes. We have Amy Howe from who's the CEO of FanDuel.
Sure.
We have Jeff Yabuki, who is the chairman of Sportradar, and he actually comes from the financial services sector. So he's going to be talking, a bit about how some of these other sectors that are reliant on technology come together, and what are the lessons learned that we can pick up maybe from other industries. And then we decided to have a little fun with it too, and we're actually having David Purdom from ESPN interview Mattress Mac.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you've heard of Mattress Mac.
If you're a sports betting fan, I think everyone's heard of Mattress Mac.
Right. And for those that don't know him, he's a businessman, a furniture store owner in Houston who lays down like $5 million bets, but it's tied in with marketing for his store. So that one I think will just be fun, just to get his. I've talked to him a couple times in setting this up, and he's a character. So there'll be some quotable quotes from him, I think. Well, the other thing I just wanted to add is that we obviously have a focus on sports betting, given our background, but that we've expanded this some into iGaming also. So we're going to be talking about, what are the issues with iGaming? iGaming, as you probably well know, is kind of lagging behind in terms of getting regulated in the U.S. in particular. Sure. We're only up to like 6 or 7 states. compared to that 35. So it's been slow, but I think it may pick up more. Number one, there was I think lessons learned during the pandemic of that was the only thing that was making any money, to be honest. And, I think it's just been an issue of a lot of the myths that were out there and with people trying to get iGaming passed in specific states before. Now a lot of those myths about it's going to cannibalize the land base, things like that have been disproven in New Jersey in particular, and there are studies about it. So, I think we'll see more pickup with that in the future.
I always love the subjects and topics SBC covers on your events. I mean, you have player protection, you have regulatory issues, but I see you also have a panel on UFC betting, which is I'm terrible at. I know nothing about it, but it's such a great mix of panels and subjects. I'm curious how you go about deciding what topic you're going to do presentations on, because they are really great and they are really, more often than not, they are the big topics for the coming year.
They are, and there are issues in there that I think we as an industry need to grapple with and debate and discuss. And, advertising is one. I mean, I know even at our hearings here in Missouri, the legislators were complaining about driving through Illinois and Indiana, and all they heard and all they saw were gaming ads. So that whole advertising issue is a big one that I think is a concern. Payments is always a concern. Fraud is a concern. So there are a variety of topics. And again, we just, I think because we're so close to the industry and we're not in any other verticals like, kind of a big conference company might be, we kind of go a little bit deeper, and because of our publications, we know what some of those issues are. So it makes it easier to be able to come up with things that are going to be pertinent for folks.
Give us a sense of how the overall conference will be set up. I mean, are there going to be individual speakers? Are there going to be panels of speakers? What can people expect to see when they go to the conference?
Well, we're on the content side in terms of the conference, we're mixing it up quite a bit. We have some individual presentations. For example, the folks with Warner Media have done a study on 18 to 24-year-olds and what they want, and they're coming up to present that and share that information with the industry. We are doing roundtable discussions on regulatory issues that the Innovation Group is organizing. We're instituting something that I enjoy doing at other conferences that I've been involved with, which are fishbowl formats, where basically you have kind of an anchor panel of speakers, but there's an open chair, and people from the audience can come up and give their 2 cents on some of the issues. So it's much more interactive. So it's, we're trying to do things that are really kind of different and fun, and yet that the content is on point.
As we were talking about, you have CEOs, policymakers, and a lot of important people in the sports betting world. I mean, if someone misses a speech or a panel, which I have done a couple times because I went to one panel, I missed another panel, and do you have an on-demand section where you can go to and hear the presentations at a later time?
Yes, everybody that is registered and attending, and again, we've got 4 different tracks going at any one time, so there's a lot of content, but all of that is available on demand, usually about a week or so after the event, by the time we get them all put together and do any final editing that needs to happen on them.
Now, as you said before, going to some of the conferences, there has always been exhibitors in the room where they set up a table and have information on their companies. Tell me about some of the exhibitors that people can expect to see when they attend the conference. I always love that part because I always run into people I interviewed on the radio, and I can finally put a face to the voice. But tell us about some of the exhibitors that we're going to see there. Well,
I mean, we have both kind of the mainstream ones, and we have ones that might be newer that folks might not be familiar with. So it kind of ranges across for a lot of the platform companies that are out there, payment companies, marketing companies. We have it's really kind of an interesting mix of all of those that are integral to companies that do payment verifications, which is really critical for any fraud concerns that people may have. So it really goes across the board, and it's always fun to see that because, again, I think a lot of people, we are really catering this year, too, to a lot of people that may be coming in new and looking at, for example, tribal gaming, some of the tribal casinos, some of the lotteries that maybe knew. One of our pre-conference days, we do have a pre-conference afternoon on player protection, which is really important. But we also have a smaller sports betting 101 to kind of walk people through that. So once they go through that, and then, they can walk on the show floor and begin to talk to people from all the different components that they're looking at, the affiliate marketing, just the whole array of services that you need to make for a good operation.
One of the great things that happens at conferences is the ability to network with other people in the industry, as you just said. I mean, lots of business gets done at these conferences. Tell me about some of the networking events that SBC Summit North America has.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me kind of split that into two different things. Sure. One is that we're working with a couple of groups that are good and doing tailored networking events for them. One is there's a group called the African Americans in Gaming, mm-hmm. and so Better Collective, which is one of our exhibitors, and they have a bar there, so they're hosting a little meetup that will be to kind of help kick off that group within our attendees. We also are doing a breakfast meetup in the morning, Thursday morning, I believe, with Global Gaming Women. And we're also looking at doing one with for tribal gaming. So, that's one set of things that are kind of integrated into the day. But I would also talk about our evening networking events. And when I talk to somebody who's never been to one of our events before, I always stress, don't get all booked up in the evening because you're going to miss some great stuff.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking about this before the show. Because, for example, in December, we were able to get MetLife Stadium. People could get out on the field. We did activations where they could attempt, I'll put it that way, to kick a field goal, to catch a punt return, catch a pass, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I told you. I'm kicking myself for missing that. I told you off air.
I know. And so that was really neat. And we keep trying to do those kind of things in the various settings that we put on. And I can talk a little bit later about what we're doing at our LATAM event, because we're able to do something really neat along those lines too. So, but we're doing the opening night reception, and where you can pick up a badge and things like that is going to be at a rooftop bar in Manhattan. Okay. The second night is where we're doing our Hall of Fame induction also. And it's at the rooftop of the Meadowlands racetrack, which looks out on the Manhattan skyline and is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then the last night we're doing our awards event and a kind of a reception that goes along with that at the piers in Manhattan that look out on the Hudson River. So they're all kind of fun. They're a great way to meet people. And I think one of the things that SBC is unique about is we're finally calling it all-inclusive, for lack of a better term. Really, from the morning through late at night, you're taken care of, with food and drinks, and there's, we don't charge extra for that. That's all part of the package. So that part's kind of fun.
Well, you mentioned a couple things I want to ask you about, and one of those is the SBC Awards North America. Tell us something about the awards and what's being presented that night.
That is basically, we have all these different categories, and it's kind of a typical awards arrangement. It's just that ours tend to be in great spots that, take advantage of the location to really wow people. But it's, it has to do with recognizing, leading, again, platform suppliers, payments folks, really across the board. So that's something that, we will have on that Thursday night, July 14th. And again, on Wednesday night, I mentioned that we're also doing a Hall of Fame, and we've got 4 people that we're inducting in that.
Well, I want to ask you about that. That's always a great event. Sports Betting Hall of Fame. SBC does something really great for the sports betting community with regard to the Hall of Fame. Who are the inductees for 2022?
We have 3 that are from Las Vegas. Obviously, we're able to draw on a lot of folks from Las Vegas who have been in the business for a long time. So we have Chris Andrews, who's with South Point. We have Vinny Meglulo. I always butcher his name. Sorry, Vinny. And he is a long time in the business. He's currently working a lot with VSiN on their programming. Sandy Droz, who is also a woman who has been in the business for like 30 plus years, which are rare. And then we have Paul Burns, who is the executive director of the Canadian Gaming Association, who has doggedly tried to get that legislation passed in Canada. So, we wanted to make sure that he was recognized for all the years of work that he's put into making that happen and finally being able to see it come to fruition so we can celebrate that with him.
So for the Hall of Fame, where and when is that ceremony going to take place?
And that will be at the Meadowlands racetrack on Wednesday, July 13th.
Mm-hmm. I also got a press release from SBC about something you're doing great for the startup businesses. And last year you had it was the SBC First Pitch competition. It's such a great opportunity for startups, and it was such a hit last year. Tell us something about that.
Yes, that will happen during the show. We've got a great panel of 5 judges. Mm-hmm. And again, we're kind of putting the word out so that if anybody is a startup that fits our criteria, if you go to the SBC North America events webpage and look under the conference section, there's a part that says First Pitch where you can see what the criteria is. It's meant for fairly early stage companies. So if you've got a great idea that you're in the process of putting together that relates to either sports betting or iGaming, frankly. And then, we'll have the judges listen to the finalists for that. And then we have a prize pool for them that includes both some cash investment as well as some in-kind services that would assist these folks.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned the website. If someone wants to register for SBC Summit North America, how would they do that, and where would they go to get registered?
I'm trying to find the actual. You would think I would know the link by now. Let me look for that. We'll come back to that.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you about. I know people like to make their plans well in advance. Are there any SBC events that we should know about in the coming months?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, you can look at all of our events. If you go to sbcevents.com, then you go in there and it'll show you North America. It'll show you a LATAM event that we have in November. It'll show you our big global event that we're doing in Barcelona in September. So that's the best way, is just to sbcevents.com. And then, again, the one that we have in September is basically looking at this from all of the regions. The other events that we do are regionally aimed at, again, the European one. We do one here. We do a LATAM event in Miami that will be in November. Mm-hmm. And that's the one. Let me give you a little tidbit about that because, you talked about the MetLife event that we did. What we've done for one night there is that we've got the Marlins Stadium.
Wow.
And we've got a great spot in the back of the stadium that looks out on the Miami skyline. So that's where our party will be. But you're also going to be able to get down in the field and bat. So if you ever want to be at home plate with a bat in your hand in a major league stadium, this will be the way to do it.
So when is that? Did you say November in Miami?
That's November 1st through the 3rd, and it's actually at Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, just north of Miami.
Sue, we're running out of time, but can you give us again the website where the SBC Summit North America registration is? So if people want to register for the conference in New Jersey, where do they go for that?
Sure. They can just go to SBC events, and then there will be just like 3 events coming up in the next 3 or 4 months. So you'll have your choice there. You can pick North America. You can pick Barcelona, which again is more global, or the LATAM event in the Miami area. So sbcevents.com is the best starting spot.
Sue Schneider, Vice President of Growth and Strategy for SBC, thanks so much for coming on and telling us about the SBC Summit North America being held from July 12th to the 14th in the Meadowlands Expo Center in New Jersey. It's going to be an incredible conference, and I urge everyone to check it out. Thanks for coming on and telling us about it.
Great, and I'll see you there.
I'll see you there. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE.
People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beatin The House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of Beatin The House, where we're going to crisscross the country going through the different casino and slot jackpots. We've got table games. We sometimes even do keno, bingo once in a while, lottery, wherever there's a jackpot. And we're going to be talking about what the amount was and who won it, how and where they won it, as a matter of fact. Just keep the press releases coming in, info at turnpikesportsradio.com, and we'll continue doing this segment. So we got a whole bunch this week to talk about. We're going to start off with a brand new casino we've never covered before.
Is it a new casino or is it a new casino for us?
It's a new casino for us.
Okay.
Brand new casino we've never covered.
All right. Okay. What is it?
Four Bears Casino and Lodge.
Okay.
In Newtown, North Dakota.
I like that name, Four Bears Casino.
I thought you were going to say Newtown.
Oh, no. Well,
but it's actually...
I think every state has a Newtown.
It depends on how they word it, too, because
Pennsylvania, there's a Newtown right over the Delaware River?
Newtown, that's one word. This is two
this
words.
is two words.
This is
Newtown. Okay.
Yes, so we're learning some geography here as well. So North Dakota, town called Newtown, Four Bears Casino and Lodge. We have a lucky slots player hitting a jackpot of $1.668 million, playing the Dancing Drums Explosion slot machine.
Now, I think that's the Dancing Drums I played.
That is exactly the Dancing Drums.
Yeah, I think I won like $200 on it, but I didn't win $1.6 million.
Well,
wow.
Elton Spotted Horse, that's his name.
Okay, good.
From Mandaree, North Dakota, placed a $5.88 bet.
Wow, that's great.
The Dancing Drums Explosion, and won what is being called the second largest slots jackpot in the state's history.
Wow.
No word on what the largest one was, because I couldn't find that
anywhere.
So
that's the second largest,
The second largest.
All right.
That's
great.
One other tidbit on this casino. It's operated by the three affiliated tribes. That's what they're called.
Okay.
That's their federally registered name.
Okay.
They are home to North Dakota's first retail sportsbook.
Okay, all right.
Just thought that was kind of an interesting fact to throw out regarding Four Bears Casino and Lodge.
Check out Four Bears Casino and Lodge.
I always like when you see a casino that also has the word lodge attached to it. You don't see that too often.
It just sounds like it'll be a cool place to visit, Four Bears Casino and Lodge.
I get this picture of a big log cabin.
Like in the wintertime. Yeah. That's the casino you want to visit in the wintertime.
And do they have like a standing stuffed bear greeting you as you walk through the door, or an elk or something?
I don't know.
But again, congratulations to Elton Spotted Horse.
Wow.
We're going to go back over to the East Coast, and we're going to go to Boston.
I heard about this jackpot.
I saw this.
If this is what I'm thinking of,
we're starting to see a lot more jackpots getting reported out of the Northeast, especially the Encore Boston Harbor, which this is.
They're paying out some money, man.
Yes.
Good for them.
A patron named Shirley hit the Blackjack Super 4 Mega Progressive jackpot, $1.157 million.
Yeah, no, that's the one I heard about.
We've been seeing a lot of these jackpots, the Super 4 Blackjack Mega Progressive jackpots, where they have to make the best hand out of 2 cards from them, 2 cards from the dealer. As a matter of fact, I think the first one we ever saw was one of the Philadelphia casinos. I think it was Live Philly.
I got to check that out. I want to see
Seems to be a very popular game.
Yeah, I haven't checked this out online. I want to check it out online. And anytime I hear a new game, I always see if it's online because online casinos are the great training grounds of future gamblers because they have all the games there. You can play for a lot lower stakes than the brick and mortar casinos.
Well, I think they call them micro stakes.
Yeah, and you get a chance to learn the game. So so this was Blackjack Super 4 Mega Progressive.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to correct myself because the one we talked about in Philly, I looked it up in my notes here, they were the Super 7s.
Okay.
So this is another variation
Super
of
4 Mega
this is
Progressive.
Super 4.
Okay, Blackjack Super 4 Mega Progressive.
Yes, so I got to check some of these out because these are almost getting to be like a pie gow poker situation where you play the main game, but then you have a side bet that triggers the progressive jackpot, and you have to make the side bet to get the progressive trigger.
See, that's why you go online to learn these things.
Well, you can also read the rules.
You can read the rules, but
I know that's the boring way to learn things. It's there's no.
But you learn so much better when you're actually doing it. You can read all the rules you want.
You can read the rules first, then do it.
Well, okay, I can do that, but
that's kind of how that was set up to do. But other people,
I just dive into the deep end of the pool right away.
Yeah, I did that the first time I ever played one of the Slingo games, and I'm not going to do that ever again because I didn't. Slingo's fun to play now. But when I first played it, I just didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I played it once. I didn't know what I was doing, but I won $50. So I don't know how I won $50, but I won $50 because I got like free spins or something like that, or I don't know what I was doing.
Every Slingo game is
different. I have no clue what I was doing.
I know a couple of the online
This one was a
casinos.
lobsterman.
Larry the Lobsterman.
Larry the Lobsterman?
Yes.
Okay,
I see the slots in brick and mortar casinos all the time.
Yeah.
I've never played a Larry the Lobsterman slot machine.
I don't know how to do Slingos. That's why I was only like doing 10 cents a. I don't even call it a spin, but you have to hit buttons and things like that. No, but I ended up winning $50. So I don't know how I won $50. So
that's probably the best way to play it sometimes.
No.
We're going to go down the coast, staying on the east side of the United States. We're going down the coast to Hollywood, Florida. We have another jackpot at the Seminole Classic Casino.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think we had one 2 weeks ago about this same amount kind of deal. Lucky guest won more than $330,000 playing the Ainsworth Snake Oriental Fortune slot machine.
Wow, never heard of that one.
They won $332,596. I had to take a look at these because I've seen the Ainsworth games online.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with them in the brick and mortar side. And
you probably are, but you probably walked by them on the gaming floor. You just didn't know they were Ainsworth.
I have to take
a
closer look next time I walk through because I think I have seen these. You see the brand, the line of the games is Oriental Fortune.
Okay.
And there are 4 different types of these games. There's Fortune Ox, which is the first one.
Okay.
Then you have Snake, Tiger, and Peking Panda.
All right.
And each one has the different theme for the different animal.
All right.
They have the cascading jackpots and feature bonus spins, all that stuff. So I'm really interested to see how Ainsworth is making out here because, like I said, we see suites of them on the online casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Ainsworth, they have a little section on some of these, especially like BetMGM and Borgata. They have an Ainsworth section.
Oh, really? Okay, I gotta check that out.
So,
I didn't know that.
But again, I'm not too cognizant of them when I'm walking through because I don't see the word Ainsworth anywhere.
I guess if you look closely, you probably would.
Yeah, all the makers have their brands on them, but I didn't. I saw Oriental Fortune. I've probably seen that a million times walking through a casino. Going over to South Bend, Indiana now.
All right.
The Four Winds South Bend. We've actually had jackpots from the Four Winds before.
Okay.
So they continue to pay out. We have 2 happening on June 4th. Charles F. from Granger, Indiana. He had triggered the Bad Beat jackpot at the Four Winds Casino.
Wow.
He thought he had the winning hand of 4 deuces.
Okay.
But lost to a player with 4 sevens.
Okay, all right.
That triggered the Bad Beat, and he won. The Bad Beat jackpot was worth $322,000 at that time.
Wow.
Charles won half of that, so he got $161,000.
All right.
The player with the winning hand, the 4 sevens, Thomas from South Haven, Michigan, won 25%, so he got about $80,000.
Okay.
The remaining 5 players at the table split 25% of the jackpot. Each got $16,000 each.
Wow, that's great.
Now, this is unlike some of the other Bad Beat jackpots, like at the stations.
Mm-hmm.
Where the stations, everybody in the station's poker room shares in the Bad Beat jackpot.
Yeah, they could be in a different poker room, but as long as you're in the station's poker room, you get it.
But since there's only one Four Winds casino in the state or even in the city, it's not split with anybody, just but the people at the table.
Just the people at the table.
Not in the poker room either.
Just the people at the table.
All
right.
And on June 4th, not only did we have the Four Winds Bad Beat jackpot triggered, on the Four Winds online casino.
Okay.
We had a guest from Davison, Michigan. They chose to remain anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a jackpot of $62,867 while playing the Locket Link Nightlife slot machine.
I've heard of Locket Link.
There are so many variations of Locket Link. Nothing like the Wheel of Fortune, which had over 250 variations.
Okay.
But the Locket Link has a lot of variations, and we have the $62,000 jackpot there.
Okay.
Speaking of Red Rock Casinos, one of the station's casinos, we just mentioned their Bad Beat Progressive. They had their Bad Beat Progressive jackpot hit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Approximately 3:41 on a Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, afternoon.
Yes.
An afternoon jackpot.
An afternoon Bad Beat jackpot.
An afternoon Bad Beat jackpot.
The Jumbo Hold'em Poker Bad Beat Progressive jackpot was hit.
All right.
The losing hand was Quad Queens. The winning hand was a Queen High Straight Flush.
Wow. That
triggered the jackpot of $306,939.
Okay.
Winning hand got $30,686.
Mm-hmm.
The losing hand got $46,000. All 8 players at the table won $1,900 each.
Okay.
All poker guests along the station casino poker rooms. Every single body playing poker at this time at a station casino won $1,300 each.
Wow, that's great.
So that's also including the with people at the table as well.
Yeah.
So everyone else won, $1,300. Everyone at the table won an additional $1,300. So that's how that played out. That was actually kind of interesting.
No, the players won $1,900.
Right, but then they won the.
Then they won an addition. Oh,
yes,
wow.
That's how that works.
Okay,
that's
all right.
how that works. So
I think Stations Casino has one of the best Bad Beat jackpots there is out there.
This is the first time I've seen them do the breakdown of how many players they had at the time.
Okay.
70 at Red Rock's Poker Room.
All right.
34 at Boulder Station
right.
Poker Room, and 56 at Santa Fe Station Poker Room.
And they all won some money.
They all won $1,300.
All right.
So that was a good day for everybody.
It's a great day for everyone.
Staying in Nevada, we're going down to the Las Vegas Strip. We have a jackpot at the Flamingo. A California man won $250,000 playing Texas Hold'em Mega Jackpot. He won $251,174 playing on a Sunday afternoon, from what I understand here, for 3 hours. He played and he hit a royal flush playing Texas Hold'em Mega Jackpot.
Okay.
$251,174.
Wow, that's great.
Michael Intravia from Hollister, California, visiting Vegas on a vacation.
Oh, that's nice. Good.
Staying in Las Vegas for the next one, we have Bally's. Bally's Las Vegas.
All right.
Soon to be the Horseshoe.
Okay. All right. When is that going to switch over?
Soon.
Okay.
Soon. Player won $111,962 playing face-up Pai Gow poker. There's the Pai Gow.
Every week it seems like there's a Pai Gow poker.
Playing on a Saturday, and he hit with 5 aces, triggering the jackpot.
Wow.
And the press release made mention of the fact that in Pai Gow, the joker can be used as an ace.
Okay.
So I'm assuming maybe he had a joker in that hand that won the jackpot.
Okay. Yeah, I guess why would they mention it
Exactly.
if it didn't get involved?
We're going to stay in Vegas, Nevada. We're going to go to the Strat.
All right.
We actually haven't done a jackpot at the Strat, and we're going to be talking a double jackpot. We have a man from Sacramento, California, who chose to remain anonymous. He won a grand total of $87,718 while playing Blackjack.
Okay.
First game, he played Extreme Blackjack. The actual name is Extreme 21 plus 3. It's a table game.
Okay, I was going to say, is it a table game or is it like a electronic game or what?
No, it's a table game. He hit 3 aces of the same suit and won $82,000.
Wow.
During the second game, he won another $4,800. So he won $87,000 on 2 jackpots playing the same game. And as soon as he won the first one, the next hand he was dealt, he won the second one.
Wow, boy.
So
two hands in a row, huh?
Well, that's a good way to introduce the Strat to this segment. So
yeah,
we're going to leave Nevada and go over to New Jersey.
All right.
We've got 6 jackpots of over $100,000.
Wow, really?
Actually, five, but I had to include a third one because somebody was playing the same game and they all hit at the same time.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
All right.
On May 30th, somebody, I'm not sure if this is the same person. I would assume it could be. The High Fives, the Green Machine Deluxe on Play MGM Casino, hit 3 times on May 30th.
Oh, wow.
174,000, 160,000, and 55,000.
So this was online, huh?
This is all online.
Okay.
All on the same day.
All
Could
right.
be the same player. Don't know.
Okay.
They don't disclose that.
So the Green Machine Deluxe, huh?
Right.
Okay. I have to keep that in mind.
On May 31st.
Should write that down.
Take my notes.
Yeah, right.
On May 31st, we have on DraftKings.com a player playing the DraftKings Rocket online game.
All right.
Won $100,000.
Okay.
June 7th, on DraftKings.com again, Evolution's Lightning Auto Roulette.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we've seen the brick and mortar version a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
$150,000.
All right.
And on June 8th, on DraftKings.com.
Big month for DraftKings.
Every's Casino Hub Every. Don't know what that is.
I have no clue what that is.
I haven't checked it out. Yeah, I got to go take a look at it. But it's on DraftKings.com.
All right.
$176,800.
Wow. Okay.
We're going to finish up the slot jackpots. We had one more addition. I had to put it into the system.
Okay.
Over in Columbus, Ohio, another new one for us.
All right.
The Eldorado Scioto Downs.
Okay.
A winning player took home a jackpot of $108,000 playing the Lightning Link slot machine.
Another Lightning Link, huh?
So another big jackpot for Lightning Link there. Again, also, I think that's the first time we've had the Eldorado one, too.
Yeah, I think so.
And last but not least, we're going to end the segment with a Michigan lottery story, and I think everybody can relate to how this story begins.
Okay.
A Michigan man was having a bad day at work.
All right.
So he decided to leave early.
Okay.
On his way home, he ran into, let me get the name of the store because they participated in this, the J&H Family Store in Owasso, Michigan.
Okay.
He just decided, I'm going to just buy a scratcher, and he won $1 million.
Wow. Okay.
Talk about turning your day around real quick there. He was having a bad day, left work early, picked up the lottery ticket on his way home. He scratched the ticket, said he was a winner of $1 million, and he went back inside the store. He was doing this in the parking lot.
Okay.
And he gave it to the clerk. The clerk scanned it. Couldn't believe it either. They scanned it again.
Wow.
So, They scanned it on the lottery app for the last time to confirm it.
Okay.
That app comes in handy.
Oh, yeah, I guess
much
so.
now.
Boy.
And it said the amount that he won was $1 million. So he turned his day around just by, and also his life around.
Yeah, it is his life around.
By having a bad day at work. So that's it for this week's roundup of the lottery, of the jackpot wins on the Beatin The House segment here. Keep the press releases coming in, info@turnpikesportsradio.com, and we'll keep doing this segment. And like I said, we had a bunch of new casinos this week.
Yeah, no, it was great. Well, that'll do for us. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.